Hello, Professor here. It's December the 26th, 2023. We have just arrived. Actually, we arrived a few hours ago in Big Bend National Park, or in the area, Study Butte. We're staying at Coyote Crossing, and there's the toilet. Just had to go, so I'm on the way back. But wind's blowing pretty good. It's a beautiful day. You can see there's not a cloud in the sky all the way around us. There's not a bad camping spot here. But a few things that we learned on this trip. Tips and tricks for Big Bend coming down here. If you go and try to get on recreation.gov to try to get a campsite in the park, only half of the ones that are in the park are on recreation.gov. If you show up at the visitor center, which I recommend going to Panther Crossing, you can get one of the other ones, but you cannot reserve a spot more than 24 hours in advance. It has to be within 24 hours. So we wanted to get a backcountry camping permit because we're going to backpack around the Chisos Basin one day this week. We're going to try to do that on Thursday. Today's Tuesday. And we couldn't do that. He said we had to come back in the morning. One lady in there beat us to tomorrow night. And so we have to go back tomorrow to try to get the next night. And so we got to be there. They open at 8:30. It's the first visitor center to open, so you can be there, stand in line to do that. Another thing that you might want to check is the hip camp places down here. Hip camp is amazing down here with no public land, only private land and national park, plus the state park. It's really hard to get a spot to camp down here. So check Hip Camp. This place at Coyote Crossing, we're 20 minutes from the north gate, and we can be at the park in no time. Plus we're only about 10 minutes away from Terlingua, the ghost town. And we're also at the crossroads to get to the state park. So it's a pretty good spot. 20 bucks a night. We went ahead and reserved this every night until January the 2nd when we have to go home. But we are probably just gonna leave our trailer here. We brought the Tiger Moth, Taxa Tiger Moth with the Subaru this time. And we're just gonna leave the trailer here and use our backpacking equipment to stay on the river road and also a couple other places in the park when we backpack. Man, another thing that we learned, even though the Subaru says it can tow 3,500 pounds, it took it from 28 miles a gallon to 9 miles a gallon. We almost ran out of gas twice. If you're coming from the north down here and you only have about a 15-gallon tank like what we have, make sure and fill up every chance you get, because there is not very many places to get gas down here. It's a little different, and gas is pretty expensive, and when you get down here everybody's fighting over a gas pump. So just a few things to learn before you come down here. And we tried to get to the visitor center this afternoon so we could get some spots reserved for this week, but that's not going to happen. So tomorrow we're going to go to Boquillas. Actually, first we're going to go to the visitor center and try to get that spot for tomorrow. Cell service is almost non-existent down here. You have to find a high spot, and then you only got 3 or 4 bars. It's really kind of hard to find. There's our setup. Got the Subi Wilderness, and man, it does really good off-road, but pulling that Tiger Moth, whew, that was a chore. We had a long talk on the way down here today whether we're going to pull a trailer or where we're going to outfit the Subi. We'll see. But we're setting up, getting the bed set up. Going to get out of the wind. We got the clam set up on the back of the Taxa. Let me show you, because this is a pretty cool setup. So it opens up in the back, and we got the clam set up against the back. Kitchen goes up against the back, so that way I can cook out of the wind. We can sit out of the wind. Wind's always blowing here, so you gotta, it's kind of like camping on the beach. So anyway, you gotta prepare for that. Got the solar out, doing a good job, and we about got everything set up. So we're gonna have some grub. Drove all night last night, stopped about 2 hours and slept, And so kind of tired, so we're gonna retire kind of early tonight. So anyway, day one, it was nice to get down here early. It's almost like we got an extra day. But tomorrow we're gonna do Boquillas. We brought our passports. We're gonna do Boquillas. We're gonna do the hot springs and maybe Pivot Rock hike. So more tomorrow to come. Everybody take care.